Myself Malik sir from Nolly Learning Center. Okay, so now we are going to study some important concept of relative velocity add math. So the question says, I write the question over here. So find the velocity vector if the particle moves at the speed of let's say 5 root 2 meters per second in the northeast direction, in northeast direction. Okay, so let's say a particle is moving in the northeast direction. So what do you mean by northeast direction? I'll draw the direction system over here. So this is the north pole, this is the east one, right? And the particle is moving in the northeast direction. That means exactly in the middle of north pole and the east direction. So that means it is making an angle of 45 degree with the x-axis. Remember a very important note, we will always measure the angle from the x-axis or the horizontal axis. So can I say the particle is moving like this, and the speed, this guy over here, this guy is the speed of the particle. This guy is the speed of the particle. So can I say this will be 5 root 2. This is the speed. And now we will draw a right angle triangle over here. So this is a right angle triangle. The speed of the particle, okay, I will break it into horizontal and vertical components. So this is horizontal, I'll just write it down, horizontal, and we call it as x, and this is vertical, we call it as y. So यहाँ पे let's use trigonometry. So can I say cos 45 is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So if I look at this, this is the adjacent side and this is the hypotenuse. So adjacent over the hypotenuse. Okay, so adjacent is x over the speed. What is the speed? This is the speed over here, right? So speed is 5 root 2, right? So cos 45 is root 2 by 2 is equal to I will say x over 5 root 2, which is, I'll multiply this over here. So this is root 2 by 2 into 5 root 2. So this is my x value, and x value is 5, right? Similarly, I will do for the vertical component. Sine 45 is opposite over hypotenuse. So this is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse, opposite, hypotenuse, opposite, hypotenuse. Chalo, let us start. So this will be y over the speed. The speed is 5 root 2. Okay. So now this is root 2 by 2 into, is equals to 5 y upon 5 root 2. So if I do this, I'll get y also equals to 5. So the velocity vector v vector is 5 in the x direction, 5 in the y direction. We write it in this form. Okay, you understood? Hope you guys found it so far so good. Now let us take it one step further. Question number 2. Find the velocity vector. Find the velocity vector in the southwest direction. Southwest direction. Okay, moving at the speed of 10 root 2. Speed is always positive and they have given you the speed as 10 root 2. My job is to find the velocity vector over here, right? I need to get the velocity vector. So let's start with the question. Okay, so now let us again draw the direction thingies over here. So this is north, okay, this is west, east and south. Now the particle is moving relative to the origin. So this is the origin in the southwest direction. So this is the southwest direction. Okay, I'll make it a little bit shorter. Yeah, and the speed is 10 root 2, right? And the speed is 10 root 2. So this is over here. I'll draw again a right angle triangle. I repeat myself. Note, I'll write down a note also. Always measure the angle from the x-axis. Always measure the angle from x-axis. You understood what I'm trying to say? So now this is the y value and this is the x value, isn't it? But if you have a closer look over here, this guy is on the negative side. This x value is on the negative side. So I'll say this is negative x, and if you have a closer look over here also, so this y value is on the negative side. So this is negative y. And the angle in the southwest, so it's exactly in the middle of south and west. So can I say the angle is 45 degree? So again I'll use sine theta and cosine theta over here. So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So opposite is minus y, hypotenuse is 10 root 2. So this is root 2 by 2 is equals to minus y over 10 root 2. Right? So y equals to minus 10. So y equals to minus 10. Now I'll find the cosine theta. Cosine theta is minus x over, I'll say minus x over the hypotenuse, which is 10 root 2. So and theta is 45 degree in both the cases. So 45 and 45, right? And this is root 2 by 2 is equals to minus x over 10 root 2. So x is equals to negative 10. So now the velocity vector won't it be like x and y, which is minus 10 and minus 10? Hope you have got my point. Any problem over here? Okay, so let's go to the next type of question. You guys try it. Okay, question 3. Find the velocity vector of the particle moving at the speed of, let's say, 3 root 2 in the northwest direction. Northwest direction. Yeah. So again, what I'll do, I'll give you time. You guys can pause the video and give it a try. I'll solve it. So this is west, east, north, south, right? So west, east, north, south. The speed is 3 root 2. So this is 3 root 2 and they have said northwest direction. So I'll draw a right angle triangle. I'll drop a perpendicular, something like this, right? So now this is the horizontal axis and this is the vertical axis, right? So now this is positive y and this is minus x, and again this makes a 45 degree. Why minus x? Because it lands on the negative side. So again you can say x minus x is equals to 3 root 2 cos 45. I have written it directly now. You guys can do SOHCAHTOA. So this will be minus x equals to 3. So x equals to minus 3, right? And then y or minus y, not minus y is equals to let's say 3 root 2 cos 45. So y is equals to plus 3. So the velocity vector is minus 3 comma plus 3. I hope you understood my point. Okay, how to find the velocity vector. Now let's jump to the next type. How to find the velocity vector when this is given, bearings are given. Okay, so acha, so find, the question is find the velocity vector of the particle, of the particle if the speed is 10 meters per second and moving at a bearing of 240 degrees. Okay, so now I want to find again the velocity vector only. The question is find the velocity vector when the particle is moving at the speed of 10 meters per second at the bearing of 240 degree. So what should I do with this? Again I will draw the direction. Okay, but this time I only need the north pole. I don't need the rest of the directions, because bearing is always measured from the north pole, right? So can I say 240 degree bearing will lie somewhere over here? So let's say this is 240 degree ka bearing, okay, and this is 240, right? So 180, and how much is this then? Can I say this will be 30 degree? How? Because this is 0, 90 if I am measuring from the north pole, this is 180 and this is 270. So the remaining portion is 30 degree. We will always measure the angle from the x-axis. So this is my angle, and now the speed they have given is 10 meters per second. So this is the speed. Okay, so this guy over here is the speed. So now I will join this, okay, and this is minus of x because it's on the negative side, and this is on the positive side. Okay, so now I will use SOHCAHTOA. So can I say cos 30 is equals to minus of x over hypotenuse, which is 10. So minus of x is equals to 10 cos 30. So x is equals to minus 10 cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So x is equals to minus 5 square root of 3. You understood what I am trying to say? Next is sin 30 is opposite over hypotenuse. So y over 10. So 1 over 2 is equals to y over 10. So y is equals to 5. Correct? So, and I know y is also on the negative direction. So this is minus y. Yeah. So y equals to minus 5. So y equals to what? Minus 5. So what will be the velocity vector over here? Negative 5 root 3 comma negative 5. This is the velocity vector. I hope you understood. Now again I will solve this question. So they say, first one is for you guys to try. You guys can pause the video and try. So this is a homework for you guys to try. Okay, and then the next one is this. A boat sails at the bearing of 30 degree with the speed of 20 kilometers per hour. Find the velocity of the boat. Okay, so B1 is, they say, like, again there is directions involved over here. So this is North Pole, yeah, at the bearing of 30 degree. So this is 30. I'll just be little short over here. Yeah. So can I say this is 30? But I always say that you have to measure the angle from the x-axis. So this is 60 degree. So the speed is 20 kilometers per hour over here. So this is 20, right? This is, now I will just drop a perpendicular. Can I say this is positive y and positive x, and the hypotenuse is 20. So I'll just zoom in. I'll erase this 30 degree because I don't need it anymore. So this is 20, right? So now x is equals to 20 cosine theta, and this is positive x and this is positive y, and theta is 60 degree, and I will always measure it from the x-axis, and y is equals to 20 sine theta, and theta is 30 degree. So can I say x is equals to 20, so 20 cos 60, which is half, this is 10, and y is 20 sine 60, I'm sorry, so 20 sine 60, which is square root of 3 by 2. This is 10 root 3. Yeah, so x equals to 10 and y equals to 10 root 3. So velocity vector is 10 comma 10 root 3. I hope you understood. Now the third part of this question. So they say a plane flies at the bearing of 240 degree with the speed of 100 meters per second. Okay, find the velocity vector of the plane. So I'm doing the C part over here. So plane flies at the bearing of 240 degree. So can I say it is flying at the bearing of 240 degree? So 240 degree will be somewhere over here. Yeah. So now this is 30 degree. We will always measure the angle from the x-axis. So in North Pole is 0, 90, 180, 270. Correct? So the speed of the boat is 100 meters per second, and I will again draw a vertical and a horizontal component. In this case, x will be negative x and y will be negative y. So now the velocity vector is, I need to find x and y. So I'll use SOHCAHTOA. So cos 30 is adjacent over hypotenuse. So cos 30 is adjacent is minus x and hypotenuse is 10. So this is minus x over 10. So x is equals to negative 10 cos 30, whatever is that value. Now again I'll use sine 30 over here. So sine 30 is opposite, which is minus y, and the hypotenuse is 10. So y is equals to negative 10 sine 30. So x and y is equals to negative 10 cos 30 and y is negative 10 sine 30. I hope you understood. So whatever is the value, I'll just write it. Hope I have cleared your concept in the first class, and in the next class I'll solve more questions, actual board exam questions based on this. Okay, so in today's class I have only taught you how to find the velocity vector on lecture 1. Okay, hope you have enjoyed the class. Thank you so much.
There's no fear in my chest. Peter Paul for my stead.